Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I'm being a little quiet because it's 2:30 a.m. and I don't want to wake my roommate. More importantly, I just don't want him to hear me. I've been really busy recently, and so I did a double a few days ago, and then went on a hike and had a long day at work, and so I had a few particularly exhausting days recently, and so this morning I slept until like 1:30 p.m. So I'm having trouble sleeping now, and I decided to get on top of recording something from tomorrow, since I probably won't have time to tomorrow. There has been something on my mind that I've been meaning to talk about, but every time I sit down to make a video, I end up just playing Amnesia instead, which is awesome because I love Amnesia and I love making videos for it particularly, but this is something I want to talk about. And for some reason the autumn time is kind of helping me feel the vibes for it, so anyway, enough meandering. So, at the beginning of September, I kitten-sat for a friend who was out of town for a week. And the first few days were really hard. My therapist, one day when we were in therapy, asked me if I was an empath. And I didn't know what that was until she explained it to me. And I'm sure most people know what an empath is. But for people that don't, like I did, it is just you have a particularly large capacity for feeling and empathizing with other people, which sounds really good, but it, in my opinion, is really hard. We didn't get far enough, unfortunately, for her to actually explain it, but she told me it was a superpower. It could be a superpower if I let it be, and if I learned how to harness it. Because while it sounds like a good thing to be able to really sympathize with other people and things on a really, really deep level that most people I don't think have very often, it is actually really just frustrating and hard. So back to the cat with that kind of context. The kitten. So growing up we've always had at least one dog. For the majority of the time we had 2 dogs and 2 cats, but we always had at least one dog. But the thing was, I never, like, it was always the family pet, so like it was just part of the chores to feed it and take it on walks, or them on walks and feed them or whatever. But me babysitting this kitten was the first time I ever. So anyway, yeah, taking care of this kitten was the first time I really took care of an animal, or really the first time I took care of another living thing by myself. And I'm sure like a lot of people feel like when I take care of myself, you can barely call it taking care of myself. I really don't take care of myself at all, and I really don't have much respect or desire to love or take care of myself, so I'm not really good at it. Although this kitten, well, we'll get to that. So the first 2 days I was babysitting the kitten, it absolutely just was stress. Like, I couldn't stand it, because the original plan was I was going to babysit the kitten for 2 days, and then after those 2 days my family were going to be available, and then I was going to drop the kitten off at their house for the rest of the week. So the 2 days were up, and I felt relieved to not have to look after this kitten anymore. And so I was driving her down to my family's house, and they live closer to my friend's apartment anyway. But on the way, the kitten was meowing and like reaching out through the box to try and like grab me, and like something, I don't know, it was such a weird feeling. Like, without even really thinking about it, I turned the car around and went right back to my house, and I kept her for the full week. And it was stressful, and it was hard. But there were some other profound things that were new feelings. Like feeling stressed and worrying about other people or other things, and having intrusive thoughts about horrible things that can happen to them. Like, those aren't new feelings or thoughts or ideas. They're like everyday things. And so in that way, it's kind of reassuring. Because when I was feeling these horrible things about the kitten, I was kind of like, well, this isn't unique to the kitten. It's like happening to me with everything. But feelings that were not unique to everything and were only unique to the kitten were, I learned so much about trust. Like, an example is the first day I left her at home when I went to work. I told my roommate, or not my roommate, sorry, I told my friend at work that I was babysitting a kitten, and he was just like, oh, cool. And then I told him, and I thought this was a normal thought, I told him, like, I know I'm so afraid of the odds of me getting home and she's just going to be dead from, like, having choked on something or had something fall on her or whatever. Because I spent, like, a lot of time, like, kitten-friendlying my room. I did all I could. I looked at every possible wire or, like object, made sure that she could not hurt herself no matter what. But still, I was so afraid. And I told him, like, yeah, I'm afraid she'll be dead when I get back. And he was like, what? Like, how? Why do you, like, what? Like, it's a cat, dude. Like, it's gonna be fine. And then I got back, and every day, that whole week, I got back from work, and she was okay. She was fine. And it made me realize, that lesson made me realize that a lot of my anxiety, I think, comes from a lack of trust in things, a lack of trust I have in other things not being able to take care of themselves. And I don't want to, one of the very rare times, I don't want to discredit myself and make it seem like I'm intentionally trying to be, what's it called? Like a power hoarder. But that is whether I mean for it to be or not. Like, I think part of it is definitely, I feel like if I can't be in control of something, like, or someone that I care about, or like their situation, then I don't trust them to be able to be okay. And I think that is a huge source of anxiety for me. Like, if I'm not able to be there, like, supervising the situation and watching them and making sure that they're okay and safe, then I can't. Then it scares me, because I can't be there to help them or to take care of them. And to some degree, that also means I just don't trust them to take care of themselves. And on the flip side, there was a day where my friend was over after she got back, and it was me, her, the kitten, and like 2 other friends at my house, just in the living room, just watching something on the TV. And the kitten jumped up on top of something, like just some chairs we had, and then fell. The kitten falls a lot. Like, she has no spatial awareness at all. And she fell off the chairs, and at first we all just laughed and thought it was funny because she falls all the time. But then she tried walking and she kept falling over. And saying this makes me feel sick of how guilty I feel about it, but which is stupid. And the point why I'm saying this is, she took a few steps and then fell over, and then she wasn't walking on a paw, she was kind of dragging herself along. And then we realized something was really wrong, and it was like 11 p.m. lights, no places were open, so I sprinted into my room, got on my computer, and just Googled anything. And there was a 24/7 vet service that we talked to, and they said that was probably she just bruised herself, and if in the morning she was still like injured or like limping, then it probably might be more serious. But I didn't even take till the morning. By the time we went to sleep, she was walking on it more or less normally, maybe kind of limping, but she definitely healed. Anyway, that's not the point. The point of that is, like, when I was at work and she was alone for like 6, 7, 8 hours, I got back, she was completely fine with absolutely nothing wrong. And then on the other hand, there was a night where she was in my line of sight along with like other people, like a room full of other people, and we were watching her, and she hurt herself bad enough that like it was an injury, and she was like limping and not able to walk properly. And that is such, to me, that is such a powerful lesson in anxiety and just caring for other people. Like, you hear it, I guess, all the time on like movies and like cartoons and stuff growing up, where it's like you can't always be there to help people or things that you love, and sometimes you just have to trust them, and like you have to trust people that they can be okay by themselves, and that it's not up to you to save everybody. And that was a profound lesson that I think actually I finally got to learn from the kitten. And then the other lessons that were a little more deep and I think profound for me were how my I know that one of my the ex in question even watches these, so I don't want to be too, I don't know. My love life the last like 5 years hasn't been good. It's been hard, and it's kind of left me feeling like I don't deserve love. I don't deserve to give love, and even I'm incapable of being able to love and to feel like that kind of, which is dumb because like I feel like an empath, and I can feel really deeply for people and really want like be there for them. But on the other hand, I can't feel like I can love on a deep level or like care. I definitely don't feel like I can care for people. But after this week, like seeing the kitten like play, and when she'd come up and like if I was laying on my side, like if I was like ever laying on my side and like trying to sleep or just take a nap or just relaxing, and she would come up to the side that she could see my face, and she would just lay down in front of me and curl up like she wanted me to be able to see her. And like if I ever, and like she'd come like play on me. There was a time where even I was holding her and just cradling her against my chest, and she climbed up and sat on my shoulder while I walked around, and then evolved from that, from climbing from my shoulder, and because I had my hood up on my hoodie, and she sat on my head and just sat on my head while I walked around, and like, and it was just the feeling of having something where their life is fully in my hands. Like if I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to feed her or give her water. I could lock her up in a room and like her, it's a like really grim way to say it, I guess, but like the point I'm trying to get is like her life was fully in my hands. Like if something happened to me and like I died or like got killed or whatever, she would I mean, it's not true because people know that I had her and like whatever. But like the point I'm trying to make is like it would be so easy to neglect her, and then she just wouldn't make it. And so, and like I would never, in a million years, I would never, ever, ever do anything like that to the kitten or any other living thing. But I guess maybe it's a feeling similar to like when you stand on a cliff and you like know you can like jump, like you don't want to and you won't, but just like the realization that like if I just like lean forward far enough, like I'll plummet to my death. It's like that. And so like even though it's a no-brainer, and unless you're like really supremely like fucked up, like I was choosing to take care of her. I wasn't just choosing to water her and give her food, but I was choosing to tell her that I love her. I was choosing to play music for her on my TV while I was gone so that she had something to like watch or like to listen to. I chose to play with her toys. I chose to snuggle her. When I felt sad, I chose to let her crawl up on me and purr. I chose to give her pets and scratch her chin and whatever. Like I found it was just like a very blunt and very like profound realization that like I was choosing to love a creature that was only there because I had enough compassion, even if it's just the bare amount, like and I don't even know if the amount is really what's important. It's just the having something that's so just blatantly like a real world physical example of me choosing to love something and to care for it, and seeing those results directly pay off in something. Like it's a really big feeling, and that opened up like other like doors of caring, like me caring for the kitten and loving her and taking care of her the best possible way I could. It made me feel more love for myself. It made me feel like maybe I wasn't such a bad person. And this kitten doesn't care about social. It doesn't even know about social like things and whatever. Like this kitten cares about me and likes me, and it would only do that if it really felt it, because there's no reason for a kitten to pretend to or not. And even just the fact that like seeing a representation of my, however meager amounts it was of my love and compassion like paying off and affecting something so blatantly and just raw, it made I feel like my capacity for love and compassion grow, and just that in general will boost it in other areas of my life, and even as far as just like myself. And taking care of her, like it made me more like eager to live. Like I still felt depressed out of my mind and had anxiety and all that, but the way I dealt with that, my thoughts like became different. It became more like this is all horrible and I hate it and I don't want to be here, but that I don't want this kitten that's innocent and is here just to be a kitten. Like I don't want that to have to feel how I feel. Like like whether or not I can have a happy life, this kitten can, as long as I commit to my life enough to be able to provide for the kitten. And it was like, so like I can suffer through this, I can feel worthless and like there's no point to anything, but now there is a point, and that point is there's a kitten that's perfect and wonderful, and it deserves to have the world, as much of the world as I have power to give it. It deserves all of it. and it was just really profound watching this kitten for that week, and it was actually, I was surprised at how emotional I got, because it was only a week, and I know that I'll see the kitten again, because it's like one of my best friends, like, animals, and I see her often, and so I'm like I know that when she came and hung out for the rest of that day and then took her back that night, like, I knew that it wasn't the last time I was ever going to see the kitten. But just, like, I guess when she took the kitten away to live back at, like, you know, at her house where she belongs, like, I didn't realize how much of my heart had been opened and how much of it had been attached to the kitten. And I think even maybe to some degree, and this is unhealthy, I know, but, like, you think even in some smaller degree, like, watching the kitten go, I was also kind of watching, like, my purpose in life for the week go. Like, she gave my life so much meaning, and I think that after she went, I kind of lost a lot of that meaning. And I was afraid of going back to just not having a meaning to live, or a reason to, but I at least know that now I can feel like there's a meaning and that it's not all worthless. Like, there's, who even knows what the next thing will be, but I know that it's possible at least to feel like my life can serve a purpose and that it should. So that's a good feeling. But yeah, I don't know. I want to say, like, if you feel depressed or hopeless or whatever, like, maybe try getting a pet, because it changes you in some big ways. But I don't think that's good advice. Like, I haven't gotten a pet. I don't think I should. I think I'm not, well, financially I'm definitely not in a spot where I could buy a pet, and also everything I need to, like shots and tagging it and getting it food and whatever, like deworming and all that. Like, I'm financially, definitely it's off the table, but then also just mentally, like for a week I can do it, but for, like, years and years, I don't know. There was a husky I looked at that was 10 years old, and I honestly really wanted to see if I could get her, because she is old, and so it would be longer than a week. It would be maybe 2 or 3 years, but then the husky would die. And if it was a horrible, hard time, and I couldn't give the husky the love and attention it deserved, then I'd know I'm just not ready to have an animal, or that I shouldn't. Which may be a little selfish, but giving the husky a good last few years of its life instead of being in a pound, I think that would be wonderful. But anyway, I don't think that you should buy a pet and hope that it fixes all your problems. Because who knows? I don't know you, but it's not off the table that you could end up maybe making the pet's life a little more difficult than it would have been. So that's for you. But if you feel like you can own a pet, and you want to own a pet, and, like, you should do it. Watching that kitten just changed me and made me, I don't know, it was incredibly profound. I'm a different person after having watched that kitten for a week. I feel more comfortable and confident with happy thoughts. So I don't know. I hope I said something that somebody feels like they can learn from or feel hopeful about. Yeah, but in any case, happy Halloween season. I'm so excited. I definitely want to play Amnesia more, so there'll be more of that, and then I want to get at least 2 more spooky story videos out. Maybe make them a little longer than the last one I did. But whatever happens, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I value your support so much. It means the world to me, so thank you. I hope you all have a good day, and I hope that you're enjoying the autumn time and the Halloween season. It's my favorite time of the year, and I feel so energized and happy. Anyway, I think that'll do for now. Thank you all so much for watching.